Hi all, welcome to this Let's Talk FIFA 19 gameplay. I think this is the one topic that a lot of people obviously will talk heavily about because the game is what a lot of us want to play, especially with our teams and so forth. So if we can smash the likes, would be awesome. Sub to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter at @GIsALegend. All the links are down below for posting the channel and social media links as always. And let me know what you think of the game, what's good, what's bad, what would you like improved and so forth. Now in the background is the Division Rivals game. I'm going to let that play in the background and I'm going to try and talk as much as I physically can about what I enjoy about the game when I'm playing a game of FIFA, what I don't enjoy about it, what I'd like to see improved, what I wouldn't want to see improved and so forth. So for me, the first thing that I would kind of really like to point out is when it comes to passing, I hate when if you're on an attack and suddenly your player will do like a random back heel and you've not got the say left trigger or whatever it may be, left trigger, left bumper, I can never ever remember, and pass, and it's like the weakest pass in the world and you're like, what on earth is this? And it happens constantly. I maybe have it like 5 or 6 times a game and I'm like, seriously, what is the point? It drives me mad. And I'm like, and what makes it more annoying is it never used to happen in previous FIFAs. It would maybe happen once or twice, lucky a FIFA. It would barely happen. Like for whatever reason it wouldn't do it. But this FIFA, it's like every game, and it's like 5 or 6 times a game. I'm like, what on earth are you doing? And it just kind of, especially if I'm on an attack and I know right away, and the thing is I don't need that pass to happen. That's what makes it more annoying. Like I know right away that I'm looking for a pass, maybe say 2 or 3 seconds down the line, but it does it that quick and I'm like, what are you doing? It's like you've just cost me an attack. And I've noticed that is one way that I've conceded a lot of goals as a result, is due to that. Especially if I'm in like midfield and it does it. And I'm like, you have cost, and it will cost me a goal. It's like I'll note down a little bit of feedback. How have I conceded today? Back heel. Like where on the park? And I'm like, and sometimes by the end of the day, it's maybe 4 goals has been caused by this simple issue. And the thing is, I've seen quite a few people pick up on it. And I'm like, it's good to know I'm not the only one that has highlighted something so annoying. But it's like, why happen? It's like it's random and it's like there's no power. It's like you could even have full power on the bar, yeah, it's the weakest pass in the world. It's like, why are you doing it? Then another big issue, whenever you've probably like I've mentioned it a few times on Twitter, and I've also you've maybe see it in this game, I especially will go with the goalkeeper and I will try and put the balls to the wings, left or right, and people just can't like defend against it usually, and I find it quite amusing. And I tweeted out yesterday a video with Julevogi. What I done was I did the ball all the way over on the right hand side. Usually I commonly do it to Sancho rather than Koke, but it depends how the back 4's lined up, or back 3 depending on how the team I'm facing. And because I put it to Sancho's side, the player's goalkeeper automatically had ran out and headed the ball. Usually it's a kick, so it's when it's a header I know it gives me an opportunity, because the pace on the ball is not too great. But the goalkeeper had headed it and it went straight to Julevogi's feet, and all I had to do was shoot, and it literally went in the back of the net for about the halfway line. And I was like, I shouldn't be getting this. I should not be getting like an easy goal in a sense. I know it's not foolproof because the balls obviously went all the way back, but some people that use this same trick are able to still run into the box and score directly from that. So it's like goalkeeper, it's like hoofing the ball into the final third and then scoring from there. But in this instance it was hoofed the ball up, the goalies automatically came out, headed the ball all the way at the halfway line, and luckily it just fell to Julevogi's feet. His midfielder wasn't getting the ball for whatever reason, despite standing pretty much in front, and we were able to just score, and luckily it was on target, and his goalie, I think it was Inform Allison, didn't get close to it in the end, and it was like the game went from 2-0 to 3-2 as a result. But it's just one of these things. It's almost feels annoying. Like another issue I find is penalties. I think penalties, like the last few years, has been dire. Like penalties, I just can't be bothered with. But this year, I had one game last night. I had 3 penalties in the game, and whenever I take a penalty, I like to make it look like I'm going to shoot straight down the middle. But on this occasion, the first penalty that I had decided, and I hadn't even aimed yet, and it put the ball into the, it aimed as if it was going to the top right corner, and I'd quickly realised like, oh, and because I'd realised where the ball would have ended up, it would have went sky over. I thought I'd quickly adjust it, and it went straight down the middle. Yeah, I hadn't even aimed down the middle, I'd actually aimed to the other side. Yeah, it never, the arrow like never moved once, and I was like, what on earth is going on? But sometimes FIFA just makes you wonder when it's like you're trying to position, because these days, for whatever reason with penalties, I need the arrow to aim, and I'm like, I'm a bit lost without it. Like in previous FIFAs, I wouldn't need the arrow because I knew right away I'd either aim top right, and I think this is a good, yeah. Now, I thought it was a good example at first, but I realised I'd actually scored from it. But it's like, I always like to either aim straight down the middle or I'll aim right, and then I'll quickly adjust it, because it's very easy to read penalties, and it's like, it can be quite annoying and elusive when you're trying to score them. Especially since Caliguri, I've since scored about 8 penalties, whereas this FIFA, they kind of lacked scoring penalties yet. The practice I've had with Caliguri over the last few days has been kind of crazy, so I'm not going to complain. Another kind of big issue, I think everyone goes on about it, is finishing. Like for me, anywhere 25-30 yards, all I find, I had one game in particular, I will admit I lost 7-4, but the guy did the same trick for 7 goals, the same thing for 7 goals, yet like my defence would either just randomly stop, or it would just, they wouldn't tackle, or they wouldn't jockey, they wouldn't do anything, they weren't interested. Yet the guy, all he had to do was turn and shoot, and he did it 7 times. Like that this second goal here, I've just about forgot about it, but the second goal in this game, if it was like one of these moments of what on earth is going on with FIFA. It was like, what on earth? I'm sure the guy doesn't skip. I want to double check. It's like, yeah, what on earth is the goalie and my defender doing in that situation? What on earth were they doing? Like the goalie is like, oh, flappy hands, and my defender's like, oh, I'll just put it in with my knee. I'm like, no, you will not put it in with your knee. You will try and clear it. And then we do the kick-off to make it 2-2. It's like, come on, it's like taking the biscuit. I'm like, this is like Jekyll and Hyde the FIFA. It's like, come on, have a word. But going back to the point I was saying, the guy scored 7 goals in one game doing the same thing, and yet, like, if I was wanting to try and make a tackle, it was like, it wouldn't, the game's like, nope, you're not going to tackle today, son. And it's like, I'm like, the guy's in the same game, the guy had no stamina on like pretty much the whole team, yet his players, he had his centre back had, I think it was like Phil Jones is like what, 51 pace, and he was able to catch up like Sancho and Sturridge and Pato. Like I brought Sturridge and Pato, the flashback versions, onto the pitch just to try and make a difference, because at the time it was 5-4, and I thought, right, well, I've still got a chance, there's about 10-12 minutes left, in fact maybe a bit longer, and I thought, well, make a difference. But even with the subs, and then for a point that a lot of people have said, players get put out of position, so suddenly Marcus Alonso could have been at striker, and I'm like, I didn't put him at striker. Yeah, this is a bug that we've seen quite a few times, most famously at the global event in Bucharest last week. The first one, not the second one, because we've had 2 in Bucharest now, but the first one was like Aggie had Marcelo at cam and Cruyff was at left back, and you're like, why is Cruyff at left back? It's like, that should not be happening in a big game. Like, regardless, doesn't matter, that should not be happening. If it is, the programmers should be kind of getting their sack, because that's kind of really should never be happening in a computer game. Doesn't matter if it's a driving game, a shooting game, whatever. It's like suddenly saying, why is the It's almost like saying, why is the clutch or the brake suddenly not in the car? It's like, you need the brakes to slow down. You can't just suddenly just put your foot off the accelerator, because you won't slow down quick enough. But no, it's just, the gameplay is really torturous at times. Like when I was in Berlin, and even the first few weeks of FIFA 19, I was really enjoying it. But the more I've really got into playing like Rivals, especially the last few days, because of going for Parolo, but because I'd ruined my weekend league last week when I shouldn't have used it for Black Friday, which is a couple of weeks even, but that meant I missed last week's weekend league. So I was like, right, well, my weekend league less, because I've been getting into it for the last few weeks. I've been getting a bit of form, consistently getting like Silver 1, but what I found annoying was that, I mean, because I think I've been playing it now so much the last few days, you really see how much the game tortures you. And like free kicks, like for pretty much all of FIFA 18 and a good chunk of FIFA 19 so far, up till yesterday, I hadn't scored a free kick, and suddenly the last 4 free kicks I've had with Marcus Alonso, I've scored them all. I'm like, I've just got them all inch perfect, and I'm like, I never had this once. For the whole, pretty much the whole of FIFA 18, I rarely scored a free kick. Like, genuinely rarely. I was always getting skied over, or whoever, no matter who I used. Then, with FIFA 19, suddenly, in the space of the last 24 hours, I've suddenly scored 4 free kicks. I'm like, this is just crazy. I'm like, I'm not getting the gist of this. Why is this suddenly happening? It's like, touching on another pet hate that you've probably just seen here is heading. Like, a lot of people still rely on crossing the ball in, and a lot of the times I'm very good at reading it, and I'll clear it, but on an odd occasion, like there for example, Mendy's quite small, I think at like 5'10", and I think it was Jonathan Tah was next to him, and Tah wasn't even interested in getting it. I'm like, you're getting people that are like, say, 6'3", 6'4", getting out jumped by like a guy that's 5'10", 5'9". Here, it's almost like, what on earth is going on? But another like shooting for me can be so inconsistent. I almost feel at times it's trying to make you miss. Like, I've had games where I've hit the post, I've hit the bar, or it goes like just marginally wide, or the power is suddenly just non-existent. I'm like, why is this, like, or it's too hard. I'm like, I've put no power in it, yet it's skied over. I'm like, what on earth's happened here? Like, FIFA, this should be fun, but at times it just drives you round the bend. And I feel like when you are playing games, that there is times you can actually really tell when the game is trying to make you lose, no matter what you do. Like, I had one game yesterday, the guy, I was all over him for the first 20 minutes. I had about 8 shots, I hadn't scored, I hit the post, his goalie was suddenly the best goalie in the world, yet he had like a 60 chem squad that was about 77 rated. It was like, I was like, this guy must be fairly new to the game. But the team was utter garbage. It was like the guy that was in net was like a non-rare, like 76 or something. But it was like the goalie was suddenly playing like a 96. It was like he was saving everything. Like, I know FIFA's not going to be the same like 2 games running. Like that game I'm saying there had the guy scored 2 goals after like in like 2 and 5 minutes. It would have been probably the better game I've recorded now when I think about it. But it was just mental that he scored 2 goals in 5 minutes, and pretty much I scored 3 goals pretty much within the space of like 9-10 minutes after it, and then ran right in the second half to win 6-2. I could have won like 12-2, but the guy had nothing about him. But it was like, I could tell the game was trying everything in the book to make it absolutely hard for me to win. It was like goalies were like, the minute he would attack, he only had 2 shots on goal, but it was the 2 shots on goal that he was able to score from, yet the goalie really should have done better, the defence should have done better. It was like every aspect of the team. And like, if a game is doing that, if it's clearly trying to do everything against to make it as impossible for you to win, then I would be feeling uncomfortable with the game. Like, and I remember when I first played this in Berlin, I didn't feel for once that the game was trying anything against me. Like, I knew at times I'd be like, if I was making a mistake, I knew what I was doing wrong, and I thought, and especially I was playing everyone better than me, because I'm woeful these days at FIFA. But the game for me needs to be looked at from top to bottom. Like, the game, and I think for us, it's for me that's played it in Berlin and since. So like the game shouldn't be any different. The game like shouldn't have like either bad. Like I really disconnect. I know the minute I'm away, I'm always going to lose. Like it's like always like a given. If I'm going to suddenly win, it's like something's clearly far fetched. But the game shouldn't have these issues. Like I shouldn't be playing a game knowing that if I'm away, that it's going to be laggy. It's going to be I'm going to lose. I'm always going to have something going against me, and then like suddenly if I'm at home, I know I'm always going to win, or most of the times win, but I'm never going to lag. It shouldn't be. I shouldn't be having that. It's like a clear desperate, like not desperation. It's this. It's like difference in gap. It's like it's almost like a skill gap. It's like if you're at home, it's like you could be seen as like we'll just say Division 5 player, but when you're away, it's like you're a Division 7 player. It's like it makes no sense. It shouldn't be that way, but it's almost like that's how FIFA has become. It's like, and it makes it less fun, really. But I'm honestly not sure. Like, I'll keep playing the game. I won't deny it. I'm enjoying playing it with this team just now, and I'm quite excited about the tweaks that I can do to it, because I don't see the point putting extra money into the game. That's for me. But obviously, at the end of the day, FIFA's just a strange beast, and hopefully, as time progresses, we can actually say the game's consistent, where it's home and away, regardless where whoever you play in the world, and also whenever you're trying to get a game that's smooth and it's just actually fun to play. There's not like you can say. There's not like. If there's a skill gap, it's apparent, and you know why if you play somebody that is better than you. But it's try to please everyone end of the day. But hopefully you find this useful, folks. As I said, let me know what your thoughts are of the game. Do you enjoy it? Do you not? Smash the like as always. Sub to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter at GZLegend. Take it easy all. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you all later.